So for those who just genuinely don't know, because look, I know that a lot of the people who are like, oh, she's a fake vegan, it doesn't matter what I say. You think I'm lying or I'm a shill or whatever. So it doesn't matter if I say that I'm vegan or not. You're not going to believe me. But I think there are people who are like confused. Like, wait, you're always like seemingly criticizing vegans. So are you vegan? I'm confused. So just to answer your questions, yes, I am vegan. I don't eat any animal products, not even honey. I don't, wear leather or wool or anything like that. I don't buy like couches with leather. I have no problem with eating like oysters that I don't believe are sentient, but I don't personally eat them myself because all of my makeup is cruelty free and vegan. That's not true, actually. I do have a eyeshadow palette that is cruelty free, but not vegan. It actually has carmine in it. Whoops. Probably the couple of exceptions to the rule that some people might say, oh, you're not actually vegan, would be the shampoo I buy might possibly have some animal-derived ingredients, but they're really low on the list, so I kind of see it like monodiglycerides in bread or something, right? I think like most of us don't even look at that. In fact, you may be vegan and be like, well, what are you talking about? Well, that can be animal-derived, and it's not usually going to say on the packaging, so that's something that is present in such a small amount in the bread, and like there's no indication that you not buying that bread is going to tell the company that, oh, they're not buying this bread because it has some sort of animal-derived ingredient, right? So most of us do not consider that not vegan. So I would say the same about some sort of shampoo that has some ingredient, like possibly glycerin or something that is animal-derived. The other thing, I guess, would be razors. I don't look at the razors that I buy, so they might have, again, I think it's glycerin. The glycerin strip could be animal-derived. That's maybe a touchier issue, but for me, it's not something that I can find anywhere that I live. It's something that I would have to specialty order and spend like $1 million more on, and I'm not willing to do that. And there have been times when we've had like pest infestations that have to be dealt with. When we moved here, there were so many spiders, and yeah, some of those spiders were killed. Again, I think that's something that most vegans do. I think most of us are killing insects to some degree or another, and I don't think many of us would consider ourselves not vegan for cleaning up our homes. But if you want to consider me not vegan for those things, that's totally fine. I don't really care. The vegan identity is not like core to who I am. I think I said that recently in a video. So yeah, there's no doubt that there are vegans who are more hardcore than I am, who will let like giant spiders just hang out in their house and have no problem with it. I'm just not on that level. So anyway, I wanted to go through some of the main arguments that people give for why they consider me not vegan or anti-vegan. So the first one has to do with medicine, that I take medicine, which is true. I do. When I'm not pregnant, I take the birth control pill. I take the combination pill to help with my awful, excruciating periods that are just stupid. They're terribly painful, and they're so heavy, and they last forever, and they get more and more irregular to the point where I basically have 2 periods a month. I have a really heavy 7 to 8 day one, and then I have like a 3 to 4 milder day one, which is just, it's just a blast. So yeah, I take birth control to manage that. It helps a lot. It basically gives me like a more moderate to heavy kind of period. Like it's still heavier and more painful, I think, than the average woman's period, just going by how a lot of women talk about it. But it's, for me, man, it's amazing. And then I also take an SSRI for depression, which I'm currently on right now. Yeah, it's really unfortunate to me that so many people think that this is a vegan issue and that you're not vegan if you take medication. I actually have a whole video on this because so many people were telling me that they were being called not vegan because they take some medication that they need to function. So it has never been considered not vegan to take medication that you need by any reputable organization. Even the non-reputable organizations, the shitty ones like PETA, don't say that you're not vegan if you take medication. And asking people to hurt themselves to give up their medication in order to go vegan is neither ethical nor is it productive to vegan outreach. So the next one is that most of my followers and people who watch my videos aren't vegan, that they're, pescatarian or vegetarian, etc. So the argument, I guess, is that because I appeal to non-vegans that I must not be vegan somehow. I couldn't possibly be vegan and appeal to non-vegans, which I don't know if that maybe says a lot about the vegan community right there. So basically, I guess that the audience is like a reflection on me, right? And on my channel. So if a majority or a large percentage of them are not vegan, then I guess I must not be either. And I think there are cases where this is understandable. I think we can imagine, we don't even have to imagine, they exist. There are content creators with crazy bigoted racist followers, and the creator doesn't seem to care. They don't really put any effort into challenging those ideas, or at least saying hey, I don't agree with this. Someone like Dave Rubin, it seems like they're just profiting off of these awful racist people. Yeah, it seems like you're kind of okay with it, and you're kind of okay with your channel just being a breeding ground for this shit. But I don't think that's my channel. I mean, I do criticize animal agriculture. I call for an end to animal agriculture. I don't let these ideas go unchallenged. I know there are a lot of you who feel like I don't devote enough videos to this kind of stuff, to challenging these ideas, animal agriculture, and just anti-vegan rhetoric. And, maybe that's true. The way I feel about it is I don't want to do 10 videos on the same topic, the same bad argument. And honestly, sometimes a while goes by before there's anything that's worth responding to. So it may be a while between, videos like that where I'm going after anti-vegan or animal agriculture stuff. A lot of the videos that you guys request are ones that I don't want to respond to. It's a lot of the why I'm no longer vegan. And most of these videos are full of just subjective claims, vague health claims, and just really a personal desire to eat meat. And what can I say about that? Other than just go vegan. Okay, I don't really think that's very useful. And that's why I responded to the recent Sarah video, because she was making very explicit claims about Christianity, claims that can easily be debunked or can be interpreted in a different way, right? She was interpreting the Bible the way that she wants to interpret it to make her feel okay about harming animals. That's why I responded to it. It wasn't in an attempt to get her to go vegan or anything like that. I don't think that's very useful. But anyway, this is, I think, probably the one claim that has the most merit to it, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more I could be doing, or if there are particular arguments or maybe videos or articles or something that I missed that maybe would be good for me to respond to. So if you have something that I've missed or whatever, leave a comment below. And then the final thing I'll say, again, about the whole, having a bunch of people watch me who are not vegan. I think I've said this before. I think this is potentially a pretty good thing. I don't think preaching to the choir is very useful. I think if we want to spread veganism, we've got to reach out to people who aren't currently vegan. So the next one is that I advocate for reduced-tarianism. Because I advocate for it, I guess I can't be vegan. Yes, I advocate for reducing animal product consumption and not just going vegan, because I believe that it's a more effective way to get people to do less harm, because it's very clear that most people will not go vegan. Most people cannot even stay vegan. That doesn't mean that I don't advocate for veganism. I do, and I do believe that you can do it healthfully, but you have to be smart. I'm not naive enough to think that just telling people to go vegan and showing them how to do it is going to get everyone to go vegan. It clearly is not. And reduced-tarianism isn't just reducing meat to a certain point. It's also getting rid of it completely. So vegans are included under that label. It's just more about encouraging any sort of reduction instead of, no, go vegan. And then once you're vegan, then we will congratulate you. I think that's really hard. I think that's really, really harsh. I think we should be encouraging people at all points and not constantly making it oh yeah, you're eating less red meat, but you're still eating this and this and this. Not good enough. So the next argument is that I defend non-vegans. So because I defend non-vegans, I'm not really vegan. Again, I think that says some really horrible things about the vegan community. Yeah, look, sometimes I do defend non-vegans against these just really terrible call-out videos that some vegans make. And yeah, I do that because I don't think it's useful to criticize people and be so harsh to people who are trying. Again, I think we should be encouraging even small steps toward veganism. And I clearly don't defend all non-vegans. I have lots of videos where I'm clearly not defending the bad arguments that they make against veganism or, for eating animals or whatever. Again, the most recent one I think would be the Sarah video. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that I'm not just defending all non-vegans, like, yeah, you eat meat, that's fine. No. I just don't think that this call-out culture is useful when people are just being honest. Again, I don't see the point in responding to a lot of these, like, I'm no longer vegan or why I'm not vegan videos. A lot of them are people saying, yeah, vegan is good, but I don't want to do it for this reason. I really like meat, or it's too hard, it's too expensive, whatever. Or again, for some like vague health claims that like, okay, I mean, I'm not a doctor. How can I respond to something like that? It's unfortunate that there are so many videos like that, but again, I don't really know how to respond to them because in most of these cases, they're not making an argument to begin with, right? So it would just be me saying, go vegan, like over and over again. How is that useful? Okay, so the next one is that I criticize vegans. So I believe that the plant-based market will continue to grow. It will continue to gain market share, not really because of vegans, but mostly because of non-vegans. And we have some evidence to support this. There's every reason to believe that these products will keep getting better and better and more affordable. And at some point, we will reach critical mass. I think the biggest obstacle to this, the biggest obstacle to plant-based going mainstream is going to be certain attitudes that are still held by the public. Attitudes that are propped up, so to speak, by certain things that certain vegans are saying and doing. These crazy extreme diets, crazy alt-med pseudoscience, and other crazy ideas, antinatalism and terrorism and flat earth. I really believe that being more friendly and more welcoming to non-vegans and cleaning house, so to speak, being willing to say, like, yeah, that person's vegan, but that's not okay. Yeah, that person's vegan, but oh my gosh, they really shouldn't promote that. That's not correct. I think that's really important. I really think these are two of the most effective things that we can do as advocates. Obviously, being more friendly to people, and then also showing that, like, we're not a cult. This isn't just about being vegan and being part of this exclusive group and we're all together and no one says anything about anybody because we're all vegan. That's kind of creepy. And also, just, I guess on a personal level, it really infuriates me that, calm down, the vegans promoting pseudoscience. Yes, I know many of them have good intentions, but they are hurting some of the most compassionate people on the planet. You're talking about people who want to go vegan. They want to do better. They want to make a difference. And they're trying to do what's right. And then they're being led astray by some vegan making stupid videos on the internet who tells them not to worry about supplementation or whatever it is. And the person ends up getting sick because of it. I don't know. Yes, the animals matter. Of course they do. And if this person ends up going back to animal products, obviously that's terrible. But it's just so terrible for them. And that this is happening again to people who are trying so hard to do better. It's just sad. I'm going to continue to criticize bad ideas, bad practices from vegans on this channel. Like, unless something changes, unless there is a drastic change in the vegan community, this will continue to be a priority for me. So the last one is the vegan community idea. So it's this idea that I profit off of the community, but I don't give back to the community. I don't engage with the community. It's like I'm on a touring site and I'm leeching without seeding. That's what I'm getting from that, which don't do that, by the way. It's real shitty. So first, this doesn't really make sense to me, assuming that the people who make this argument are also saying that my viewers are like mostly non-vegans, because how can I be profiting off of the vegan community if most of my viewers are non-vegan? That means I'm profiting off of non-vegans, right? Second, while of course community is important for support when you're talking about any sort of huge, lifestyle change, if you're just trying to lose weight or something, one of the things that seems to work is having some sort of, form of support, some sort of kind of accountability, people to talk to, whatever. Yeah, that's great. But unfortunately, the online vegan community, especially on YouTube, is kind of shit and pretty toxic and seems to alienate a lot of people and really come down hard on people for making mistakes. And I'm not into that. It's not something I want to support. And finally, I'm not vegan for social reasons. I'm not vegan to like network with people. I don't really care if I have vegan friends or not, to be honest. Like I'm not vegan to be part of a vegan community. And I think there are much better communities full of much better, nicer people that I would rather align myself with. People in the effective altruist community, people in the reducetarian community that is made up of a lot of effective altruists. These are people who value effectiveness. They value effectiveness in speech and outreach. They are open to veganism, obviously, and they recognize just the basic idea that screaming at people and being really mean to people is probably not the best way to encourage them to change their lifestyle. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, support the channel, patreon.com/unnaturalvegan, and I'll have a new video very soon.